In Chaos Walking, we have an incredibly capable director who has not only shown that he can pull off action, but also sci-fi as well with Doug Lyman. We have a fantastic cast with two huge up-and-comers, three Oscar-nominated actors, and a performer who always steals the limelight in Mikkelson. We have a screenplay that is co-written by the original author of the beloved books that this film is based off of, and we have an intriguing and unique plot device that really sets itself apart from others in the genre. So, what could go wrong? Chaos Walking will be released this Friday, March the 5th, only in theaters and in IMAX. And thank you so much to Lionsgate for sending me an early screener of this film so I can review it for you guys. The film is written by Patrick Ness and Christopher Ford, although there are multiple other writers who were a part in creating this screenplay, including Charlie Kaufman. It is directed by Doug Lyman and stars Tom Holland, Daisy Ridley, Demien Bichir, Cynthia Erivo, David Oyelowo, and Mikkelson. The film is all about a dystopian world where there are no women and all living creatures can hear each other's thoughts in a stream of images, words, and sounds called noise. So before I start my review, I would like to give you guys just a little bit of insight into this film's troubled production history. The movie finished principal photography in November of 2017. That is right after Holland had finished filming Spider-Man Homecoming and Ridley had finished filming Star Wars The Last Jedi. That's how long ago this movie was filmed. Chaos Walking was all set to be released in March of 2019, but after horrible test screenings with audiences, they decided to go back and do some reshoots to make the film a little bit more understandable. But Ridley and Holland were both busy at work filming their respective franchises, so they had to wait until April of 2019 to do these reshoots. Another $15 million later, and a budget that had skyrocketed to over $100 million. Finally, in March of 2021, we are getting the finished Chaos Walking? Okay, now on to the review. So one thing that I noticed right off of the bat is that it's really hard to get used to this noise that's in the entire film. It's shown to us visually as this electric cloud that is floating over everyone's heads, and we also hear every single person's voice that's on the screen all at once. It's like an assault to the eardrums. And honestly, for lack of a better word, it was really chaotic at first. But after a while, you really start settling into it and start enjoying the ingenuity that this noise brings to the film. The way in which it can shape and morph into other people and creatures. The way that it shows us people's memories, as well as the hilarity of getting to hear what's going on in Tom Holland's mind. This noise really ends up being used to great effect. Tom Holland is such an endlessly likable actor, and in Chaos Walking, he is no different. He brings an earnestness and a gentleness to this role that really allows you to root for him and to relate to him. And Daisy Ridley is also quite charming as the mysterious Viola, who does take a while to break down her barriers, but once she does, you can really invest in her. And these two have just enough chemistry with each other that it makes everything believable. Mikkelson is always a captivating villain, and in this film you really yearn to learn more about his character because he is able to control his noise, and no one really knows why. And Oyelowo is absolutely terrifying as the devilish preacher, but he's not given nearly enough to do. The direction from Doug Lyman, who gave us The Bourne Identity and Edge of Tomorrow, is pretty solid. He gives us a lot of really exciting action set pieces. And the screenplay is full of heart and humor and suspense and mystery to really keep us fully engaged. But, and this is probably one of the biggest buts I have ever given in my life, I cannot in good conscience recommend this film to anyone because it is not complete in any sort of satisfying way. We're introduced to this native species about halfway into the film who supposedly massacred all of the women on this planet, never to see them again. We have characters who died? Or did they? I couldn't tell you. There are so many loose ends in this film, and there are so many obvious scenes where they were trying to mend all of these gaping plot holes and didn't succeed. And really quickly, before I wrap up my review, I really wanted to point this out because I think it's important. There is a lot of violence against animals in this film that I think will trigger and upset a lot of audiences, and it's not just in one isolated scene. So, forewarning. If I knew that there were going to be 2 other films in this series based upon the other 2 books in the trilogy, then I would probably be embracing this film with open arms and ranting and raving about how much I love it and can't wait for more. Honestly, I probably would have given it a 3.75 or a 4 out of 5. Because I really enjoyed this movie all the way through until the credits rolled. But knowing that this is all we will ever get of Chaos Walking, unless a miracle happens, ruined everything that came before it. But I did immediately go and buy the entire trilogy of books right after I watched the film to see what happens next. So maybe the film did something right. So I will be giving Chaos Walking 2.5 throwing knives out of 5. This was a captivating, unique, exciting, well-acted action sci-fi epic that just fell apart at the end due to the fact that this is just not a complete story or film. It has a vast array of loose ends and gaping plot holes, so I just cannot recommend it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching Lost in the Reel. We will see you soon.